Hello everyone, in this video we will see what are background scripts and how can we use them in ServiceNow. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that like button. First of all, the introduction. Administrator can use background scripts module to run arbitrary JavaScript code from the server. So we can run JavaScript code in the background scripts to make changes on the server side or in the database or to query them. So basically we can create, update, query or delete records in ServiceNow using background scripts. How to navigate? We can go to system definitions and under that we have scripts background and we can write our code and execute that as well. We will see the other options on the ServiceNow as well. Let's quickly jump to ServiceNow and I will type scripts space and background and it appears on the navigator, and here I can paste my code and start using it. If you notice here, running freeform script can cause disruption and loss of data. So that means if you accidentally delete the data or modify the data, so it can be really dangerous. So as useful as it is also dangerous as well. I have seen people deleting data from production instances by mistake, so you have to be really careful. Write your background scripts first of all in the dev environment, test them properly and have a proper GlideRecord query in there so that you don't end up deleting or modifying the whole table. Next is the run script button. When you write your script, you can run it from here and you have an option to run in different scopes. The first one is the global, which you all are familiar with, and the second one is my custom application. So if you notice, we do not get other scopes or application here which are out of the box in ServiceNow. Next is record for rollback, and as the name suggests, if you want to by any chance roll back the query which you have ran, that is if you have modified or added any record, you can have an option here to roll back that. Next one is execute in Sandbox, and it ensures that if you are updating something, it doesn't reflect in the actual database, so it's running in a sandbox. Next is execute as Scriptlet, which was introduced in Paris. We don't have any documentation on this yet. This might be for some future additional functionality, so let's leave it as of now. And finally we have cancel after 4 hours. So for example, if your background script has been running for 4 hours, it should cancel automatically. I have already written one test code here on my GitHub, which I will share on my YouTube description as well. I'll just copy it from here and paste it here, and I will just zoom in a bit. And here if you can see, I'm using a self-invoking function, which is a concept of JavaScript where you don't have to call this function. It's a good practice to use self-invoking functions in the background scripts. And then I have used a GlideRecord on the incident table. If you are not familiar about GlideRecords, please click on the top right corner. And then I have used initialize, and then I have set the short description as testing the background script and the caller ID as the sys ID of able tutors user record ID, and then I'm inserting a record. So basically this code will insert a new record or a new incident in ServiceNow, which will have this short description and caller as able tutor. And as soon as I run this script, it shows me the time taken to run this particular script. What were the operations done on the table? For example, on the incident, 1 record was inserted, and in the sys rule escalate history 2 records were inserted. And if I click on this one, it will navigate me to a new tab and it will show what was the record inserted, and here you can see the number of that incident and other details of that particular rollback sequence. Next is the script execution history. If I click here, it will navigate me to the script execution history where I can see the rollback ID again, and I can navigate to rollback context by clicking here, and it will show me the script. So I have a future reference where I can go back to this particular script execution history table and I can see what was the background script which I had ran or some other team member had ran. We have the transaction processing time, the response time, SQL count and SQL time as well, and affected record summaries on which tables did it affect. And now I'll just quickly go to the incident table and we will just see that record which has been created. And you can see this is the latest record and this is the number ending in 13 which was inserted in ServiceNow. If I go back here under the related links, rollback script execution, if I click on this, and if you remember we had checked an option, if we want to roll back this background script we can use this particular functionality, and I will type yes and it will actually roll back the query. That means it will delete the record and it has ran the rollback. If I go back into the list of the incidents and I click on all, you can see that has been deleted. The number of incident was ending with 13 and it has been successfully deleted. So you always have an option to roll back, but be careful, it doesn't work every time. If you are inserting thousands of records, it won't work as expected because there will be business rules running in it and you might be creating some records in different tables on creation of the incident table or your custom tables. You have to be really careful about this. Now if you want to capture logs in your ServiceNow, you can use gs.log and maybe I can say Hardit, and this will be captured in the logs. But if you want to see something on your screen when you are running this background script, you can use gs.info as well, which will display whatever data you want to display on your screen. For example, let's say I want to print the sysID of the record which was just created or inserted by this particular query. What I can do is I can say sys_id and I will run this script now, and you can see the sysID of the record which was created has been displayed here. So if you want to display any information, you can use gs.info, and if you want it in logs, you can use gs.log. Let's quickly verify. I will put a filter and use sysID starts with the copied one, and it should display me a new record which is the incident ending with 15, and it has again created a new incident which is just now. Moving on, if you want to modify some records or even if you are inserting and you want it to be very quick, you can use two of the functions which are available out of the box in ServiceNow called gr.setWorkflow false. What it will do is whenever you are running this setWorkflow false, it won't run any business rules associated with this particular table where you are inserting or modifying. Hence it will increase the speed of execution because there are no other business rules running whenever you are modifying or creating a new record. Next one is gs.autoSysFields false, and you have to give the GlideRecord object name in front of this. So gr.autoSysField false, that means whosoever is customizing, modifying or creating a record, the autosys fields will not be updated, and the autosys fields are created by, updated and updated by. So basically these fields will not be updated whenever you are updating a new record. This will also save your time when you just want to update the records and don't want to update the system fields, but you have to be careful that it won't show your name or the person whosoever is running this particular script, that who has modified it. So it can be an auditing challenge as well. If you want to go into the CI records and want to see the history that who has modified these particular fields, you won't be able to see them. So you have to be careful of using the setWorkflow false and gs.autoSysFields false as well, and do it wherever that is really necessary. Right now this is all about the background scripts. Let me know in comments if you have any questions. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that like button.